¡Ánimo, cabrón! ¡Ánimo, Ale! ¡Wake up, buddy! ¿Ah? You wanna be a champion?
Canelo Alvarez is fired up in his new training camp, showcasing determination ahead of his fight with Terence Crawford. Terence Crawford isn't backing down from the challenge of facing Canelo Alvarez. While fans debate whether the fight will happen, Crawford is staying focused and locked in. However, Coron Davis, who has sparred with both Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez, said preparation will be key for their September clash. He noted Crawford has been holding extra weight for a while and is training hard, but Canelo is more experienced at 168 pounds. Davis expects a high-level fight, but gives the edge to Canelo due to his size and comfort in the division, though he believes if anyone can move up and win, it's Crawford.
Have you been in there with Crawford?
Yeah.
So you've been in there with Crawford, you've been in there with Canelo. What can you take from sparring both of them to gauge what's gonna happen in September?
Preparation is gonna definitely be everything. Crawford adjusting to the 168 pound division. I know he's been sitting at a heavier weight for a while, but he's been showing his training and stuff. So that's definitely gonna help him. Canelo experience, but then you got Crawford got great experience as well. It's gonna be a great fight. It's gonna be a good chess match. I expect a great fight. If I had to favor somebody, I would just pick Canelo because of the weight disparity. Canelo is naturally sits really well at 168, and it's just always tough for a guy to come to 168 and come from that many weight classes up and do something like that. If he does it, if anybody could do it, it'll be Terence Crawford.
Meanwhile, Alexander Usyk gave his opinion on the Canelo versus Crawford showdown. He said the matchup is extremely close and too tough to call. In his view, both fighters are elite, but if we're talking pound-for-pound rankings, Usyk sees Terence Crawford as the top man in the sport.
Finally, Canelo Crawford.
Very hard. 50-50. For me, pound for pound, number one is Terence Crawford.
Vergil Ortiz shared his thoughts on the upcoming fight, saying he doesn't believe Terence Crawford can beat Canelo Alvarez because of the size and weight gap. He praised Crawford's skill and ring IQ, but feels Canelo's strength and timing make the difference. Ortiz pointed to Canelo's check hook against Berlanga as proof he's still sharp. While he thinks Crawford has a shot, he said if Crawford pulls it off, he'd consider him the greatest fighter ever.
I don't think he is, but if he beats Canelo, he'll be like my #1 fighter of all time.
You don't think Crawford beats Canelo?
I don't think so. And look, hear me out. I respect Crawford and everything that he's doing, but he just moved up from 147, so I'm just going to treat him as a 147-pounder. He's jumping up 3 weight classes to fight someone who was like the #1 fighter in all of boxing, The jump would be hard, even if it was just like some top 10,
right, yeah.
Bud, would you say he's a very smart fighter?
Yes.
Very calculated,
Yes.
right? Don't you think that maybe he sees something that most people aren't seeing?
I think he does, but the thing is he going to be able to even to capitalize on it? Because he's a smaller fighter, and look, I think people are thinking at the aspect of, can Crawford do it? Yes, I think he can do it, but can Canelo do it? And I think he has a bigger chance of doing it than Crawford does.
It favors him.
Now, Canelo, he has obviously the size advantage, the strength advantage, intellect. I think Crawford edges him out in IQ. I just think the weight difference is going to be the deciding factor here. I mean, when I seen Canelo's check hook against Berlanga, that shit was like this. And Canelo's not slow either. This shit was, I didn't see that coming at all. He just dropped him, and I was just like, damn, he still got it. I just think that Crawford just bit off a little more than he can chew, but if he can chew it and he beats him, which I think he can. I'm not saying he can't. I'm not saying he has 0% chance. Okay. I'm just thinking Canelo wins. But if he does, he'll be he will be my #1 fighter of all time.
Wow, I always knew that you had a lot of respect and admiration for him.
However, Canelo Alvarez sent a strong warning to Terence Crawford during his training camp by displaying his trademark power and precision. In recent clips, Canelo was seen unloading vicious body shots and sharp counters, reminding everyone why he dominates at 168 pounds. His training showcased not just strength, but elite timing and control, making it clear that Crawford will be facing a fully focused and dangerous version of Canelo on fight night.
¡Ánimo, cabrón! ¡Ánimo, Ale! ¡Wake up, buddy! ¿Ah? You wanna be a champion?
Ray Leonard reflected on Terence Crawford's move up to the 168-pound class to face Canelo Alvarez. He explained how gaining weight brings a major shift in size and force, using his own experience fighting Donnie Lalonde as an example. Leonard remembered how heavy Lalonde's punches felt, even when he stayed standing. He pointed out that facing naturally bigger opponents brings real danger. Still, Leonard praised Crawford's talent and said he's confident that Crawford can handle the step up, even if the weight difference poses challenges.
No, you also moved up to 168 pounds as well.
Yes,
You know,
yes.
Terence Crawford is going to try to do that against Canelo. Just your perspective on a fighter like Terence moving up from 47, 54, and fighting Canelo, a bigger guy who's fought naturally bigger guys at 68.
It's a big difference. I mean, when I fought Donnie Lalonde, every time he hit me, he hurt me to a degree. Not knocking out, but he hurt me, put it that way. He can do it. I mean, you can do it. No question about that.
Leonard also spoke about the risks of fighting a naturally larger opponent like Canelo. He admitted that the weight difference is no joke and that it can be a serious concern. He recalled how he faced similar struggles in his own bouts. However, Leonard said using smart strategy, timing, and sharp skills can help balance things. He believes that even with the size disadvantage, Crawford has what it takes to compete and possibly win by fighting intelligently.
You know, what about Crawford do you think can bridge the weight gap, or like with you, what did bridge the weight gap? Because a lot of people are just saying, hey, Canelo's just too big for someone like Terence.
That's true, but you know what? There's always a way. Put it that, there's always a way. There's always a way to win.
Teddy Atlas gave his view on Crawford moving up in weight to challenge Canelo Alvarez. He acknowledged that fans are concerned about the size gap, but reminded them that boxing has many moments where smaller men beat bigger foes. Though people question if Crawford can hang with a powerful fighter like Canelo, especially since Crawford once looked uncomfortable at 154, Atlas argued that Crawford's movement, speed, and footwork could make all the difference. He believes Crawford's talent helps close the gap and gives him a real shot.
People are going to say Canelo's too big. He had trouble with a 154-pound guy when he went up from welterweight to that. So now he's going up to 168. Teddy, come on. How are you going to make an argument? You're going to make an argument to this, to the history of this sport, where little guys have been able to beat big guys, because you reverse it. You reverse who's got the advantage and the disadvantage. Yeah, the size, the power of Canelo, he's got the advantage. Then all of a sudden you go back and you say, wait a minute. The other guy's faster. The other guy's craftier. The other guy has more options. The other guy is slicker. Oh, well, maybe he's got the advantages.
Atlas added that Crawford brings more than just technique to the table. He said Crawford is not only skilled, but gifted with rare traits like sharp timing and natural instincts. While he gave Canelo credit for being a strong and accomplished fighter, Atlas believes Crawford's unique abilities could help him overcome the size mismatch. For Atlas, this bout feels like a classic David versus Goliath fight, and he's looking forward to seeing how it unfolds.
I'm one of the people that thinks Crawford is very, very special. I'm not saying Canelo's not, but I think he's special in a different way, where he's got instincts that not everyone has. Yeah. That it's the timing, it's the instinctual things, the X factors, the intangibles that he has. And I think they're going to show themselves. I really do. And I can't wait. Yeah. I can't wait. Yeah. I can't wait to see a smaller guy use those intangibles, use those X factors to beat a bigger guy.
Jim Lampley praised both fighters, but slightly leaned toward Canelo in a clash with Terence Crawford. He described the fight as incredible and gave Crawford credit for his smooth transitions between offense and defense. Lampley admired Crawford's grit and mental toughness, especially in his dominant win over Errol Spence. While many picked Spence to win, Lampley had full confidence in Crawford's deep understanding of the sport.
I do like him against Bud Crawford, but I do think that it's a great fight. Now, I could change my mind when we get closer. Bud Crawford, to me, is a latter-day Sugar Ray Robinson. He has the multiple skills of Sugar Ray Robinson. He can defend or attack. He has a deep inner mean streak that he can employ at any moment in a fight to get what he wants. You know, before the fight against, help me out here,
Madrimov was his last fight. Spence?
Spence.
Yes.
Before the fight against Errol Spence, there were quite a lot of people in the sport, in boxing media, who were saying, you know, I like Spence to win the fight. I was one of those people who said, no way. Errol Spence doesn't have the depth.
Lampley also placed Crawford among the top fighters of his era, right beside Canelo Alvarez. He said both men are not only skilled, but extremely smart and tactical. Their high-level thinking in the ring makes this fight more than a physical battle. It's a matchup built on intelligence and planning. Lampley expressed excitement about how their boxing styles and strategies will play out, expecting a bout filled with precision, heart, and brilliance.
The intellectual understanding of prize fighting to beat Terence Crawford, who is the great professional of his era, along with Canelo Alvarez. That's why that's such a great fight. They are the two living, practicing ultra professionals in the sport. They know it inside out. And one way or another, it's going to be a spectacular intellectual matchup of two great ring strategists. Can't wait to see it.
David Benavidez gave his opinion on the matchup, saying Crawford absolutely has a chance because of his ring IQ and experience. However, he warned that the weight jump could be a major factor. Benavidez noted that Crawford hasn't spent much time at 154, and now he's jumping even higher. He said the size difference could matter a lot when the first punches start flying.
I think if anybody could beat Canelo, I think Bud, his IQ and his experience will definitely help him through. It's just that, you know what I mean? He's going up 2 other weight classes when he had just went up to 154, so we'll see what happens.
Keith Thurman gave credit to Canelo Alvarez for being a complete fighter, praising his defense, power, timing, and smooth movement. He said Canelo is extremely difficult to beat, but not impossible. Thurman believes that someone with the right skill set, like Terence Crawford, could still pose a serious threat and challenge him in the ring.
The thing about Canelo Alvarez is extremely hard to beat. But he's not unbeatable. Now you can say this about every fighter. But this is Canelo Alvarez. Canelo Alvarez is extremely hard to beat, but he's not unbeatable.
Paulie Malignaggi shared confidence in Crawford's ability to win, saying his steady rise through the sport has prepared him for a moment like this. He believes Crawford's journey has sharpened his mindset and positioned him perfectly to take on someone as elite as Canelo Alvarez.
If the right thing is supposed to happen every once in a while in this freaking world, which it never does, I feel like Crawford is supposed to win this fight. It's just a favorite of boxing for the way he went about his career and the way Canelo went about his career.
Kevin Cunningham pointed to Crawford's intelligence and boxing ability as key factors in this matchup. Though he respects Canelo's greatness, he believes Crawford has what it takes to rise above the size disadvantage. Cunningham said Crawford knows how to spot weaknesses and can take control by thinking his way through the toughest moments.
But can Terence Crawford pull this off?
He definitely can. He has the ability to pull it off for sure. Now, it's going to be a tough task. You're talking about Canelo Alvarez, one of the greatest fighters ever. So I think Terence is special, you know, and it's going to take it takes a special fighter to move up multiple weight classes and still dominate. And I think Terence Crawford has the ability, not to say he'll dominate Canelo Alvarez, but I think he's special enough to where he can find a way to expose Canelo's flaws and pull it off. I just think he's a special enough fighter, and he's gifted enough, and he's smart enough to win a boxing match with Canelo Alvarez.
Cunningham also added that Crawford won't rely only on his technical skills. He expects Crawford to bring physical aggression, showing early on that he belongs in the ring with Canelo. He believes that aggressive approach will push the pace and earn Canelo's respect from the start.
I think what you'll see with Terence is a boxer, but he's also going to try to beat up. He's going to get the respect of Canelo Alvarez. Yeah, he's going to box, but he's going to get his respect too, and he's going to be smart about it. You know, so I think he can. I really think Terence can pull this off.
Eddie Hearn called it a legendary matchup, but warned that the size gap leans heavily in Canelo's favor. He noted Crawford has never been a naturally big fighter, and moving up to 168 could stretch his limits. While he acknowledged both men's high-level boxing IQ, Hearn said Canelo's power could become a serious problem, especially if he starts fast and looks to control the pace early.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's a fantastic fight. You know, two generational greats, 2 pound-for-pound greats. I do think the weight will be too much for Terence. I think even in the Madrimov fight, you saw that physically, I think he's, you know, even at 154, he's not a big 154. He's definitely not a big 160, and he's definitely not even a small 168. So, but he has got unbelievable skill, and he's got a huge boxing IQ, but so has Canelo Alvarez. So I do give him the edge in that fight.
Do we see a stoppage?
Yeah, I believe so.
Oh, wow.
If Canelo's active in the fight, depends. He's got to get to him early. Yeah. Terence will be moving his feet, and Canelo won't like that. You know, he wants you to come and fight him.
Israel Madrimov believes the outcome of the fight depends on how it unfolds. If it goes the full 12 rounds, he favors Terence Crawford because of his smart strategy and control in the ring. However, if someone gets knocked out, Madrimov leans toward Canelo Alvarez, pointing to his power and finishing ability. While he respects Crawford's overall skill set, he feels the winner will be decided by the tempo and style of the fight.
If 12 rounds, Crawford win, I think.
Crawford and Canelo Alvarez, what do you think about that fight if they did fight? Looks like it's up for September.
Good fight. You know, if 168 pounds, I think it's Canelo, but it's Canelo better technique because 50-50. If 12 rounds, Crawford win, I think. If knockout, it's Canelo.
What makes Crawford so difficult to fight against?
He has power, smart, in more practical.
He has more experience. He's very experienced.
Caleb Plant highlighted Crawford's ability to fight from both stances and control distance as key factors in the matchup. He said Crawford's sharp timing and rhythm changes could cause real trouble for Canelo, especially when paired with his power and high ring IQ.
I give him a chance. You know, Terence is freakishly strong. He can punch. He's got good crack. He can fight from both ways. Orthodox southpaw. He can fight at mid-range, close range, outside. And he can fight going both ways, so it's exciting. It's exciting. It's a big question mark on the end of it, though. So that's why, you know, I'm sure all of us are excited for that bell to ring and, you know, be able to find out firsthand.
Plant also shared advice for Crawford, urging him to stick to his strengths. He stressed the importance of staying calm and focused throughout training camp and being mentally prepared to rise to the occasion once the fight begins.
I would just encourage Terence to be himself. As I said before, from the inside, mid-range, outside, southpaw, right hand, moving left, moving right. He can do it all. So I would encourage him to stay relaxed, go in there, have fun, you know, have a good camp, and let the dice roll, right?
Amir Khan spoke on the challenge ahead for Crawford, noting Canelo's recent growth as a fighter. He said Canelo has improved technically and remains one of the sport's most dangerous opponents, making this a very tough test for Crawford.
Well, remember, like, Crawford then is a big boy as well. Crawford's a big guy when it comes to a box fight. Yeah.
What do you think?
I think Crawford, in my opinion, but size might matter But then again, I think since when I fought Canelo's become a better boxer. He started boxing more better. You know what I mean? Technical more. Especially against the last fight against Mangui, he boxed really well as well, and he's looking really good. He's still, a lot of people might say, oh, he's getting old, this, that, another, but no, Canelo's still a beast.
Max Kellerman spoke about the magnitude of the upcoming clash between Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford, calling it one of the biggest fights he's ever seen. Having covered historic matchups like Pacquiao versus Mayweather and Joshua versus Klitschko, Kellerman said this showdown might even surpass those events. He believes the timing, scale, and significance of the fight place it among the most important boxing moments of his career.
But like, where would you rank this fight out of your top 3 to 5 of all the boxing fights you've called, you've experienced, you've watched?
In terms of the magnitude of the
magnitude,
fight?
yeah.
I mean, of the fights that I've called ringside, it might turn out to be number 1. I've done Pacquiao fights, I've done Mayweather fights, I've done Anthony Joshua against Klitschko. Those are big fights. But this will, listen, because of Netflix, this will be the most watched fight, championship fight, in almost 50 years. This is going to be, because Muhammad Ali fought Leon Spinks in the rematch in 78, and they did 90 million TV sets. 90 million. And since then, what has even come close? The biggest fights have all been on pay-per-view, and they do 2 million buys. Oh my God, 4 million buys, Mayweather Pacquiao. As I keep saying, if 5 people per TV set watch, per buy, watch, that's 20 million people. This is gonna do multiples of that. So, so when you look at it from like a commercial point of view, it'll easily be the biggest boxing event I've ever covered.
That's it for today's video. So what are your thoughts on this? Share your thoughts in the comment section, and make sure to subscribe and like if you enjoyed the video. Also check out our other videos on the screen right now.